we've been so programmed, even, and you see it, it's because I was listening to a podcast. We see this fetish, this it's become a fetish now of our people chasing towards, and I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with African spirituality. Hear me very clearly. Hoodoo was bred here in the Americas. Listen to what I'm saying very clearly. Okay, this is no shot and no shade to none of the African spiritual based systems and practices out here, but we have made it a fetish, especially us in America, where we chasing after so many things outside of us that seem exotic, that look exotic, that sound exotic, that got a strange tongue to it, so you want to speak it, but you don't never go and research the words or do any type of research about where it came from and when it was bred and who gave it to you. And it's gonna hurt a lot of y'all feelings to find out that even a lot of your African spiritual systems is still connected to some white man. Okay? Still. So while you chasing for something outside of you, the fucking magic is on this land. That's why they want us off of it. It's here.
It's
the
here.
magic that you've been looking for, the strange tongues, all the esoteric magic and sciences where other places have got it from, it came from here. Your ancestors that walk these lands.
That's why I say, forget what your African ancestors, forget that. Like, we don't tap into our Mayan ancestors.
Bruh.
We don't tap into our Aztec ancestors.
Our own
we don't
ancestors, none of them.
None of them.
And that's where a lot of cultures are getting their prophecies from. Are you high?
That's where we found out that the Mayan calendar ended at when? They're using the Mayan calendar still in Ethiopia. The original calendar in Ethiopia is based off of the Mayan calendar. But nobody wants to talk about their Mayan ancestors. We want to talk about Ifa. We want to talk about Santeria. We want to talk about everything but what it is.
And the omens are here. Y'all don't understand. And that's not to say that spirit is not speaking in these places. Spirit is speaking everywhere, in every land, in every tongue, to every being that has an ear to hear. Spirit is speaking. Okay, and as much as spirit is speaking in these African-centered lands, spirit is speaking here. How do I know? How do I know?
How do I know?
Because spirit is speaking in insects. What was it last week? Spirit brought the lanternfly. Let's just talk about the lanternfly because I feel like it's important with where we are right now. The lanternfly first arrived in northern Jersey or the south part of Jersey, but I believe it was the north part of Jersey in 2014. Okay. You and I already know the significance of that 4 number and how that 4 energy is connected to America, to the United States, and how the United States really utilizes that numerology of 4 in all of their rituals and everything that they do here, right? Because in every day, ritual is happening. But y'all don't understand that yet, but we do, right? And so the lanternfly showed up here in 2014, and we heard murmurs of it being an infestation here and there. And then it resurfaced again around, I believe it was last year. It really started to resurface again, and the call started to be put out from the news and from the government officials that when you see the lanternfly, to kill it on site, to kill its eggs, to kill anything that looks like it, to just kill it. And it was taking over Philadelphia, and it was taking over parts of Jersey. I had never seen it here in Jersey yet, but it was alleged.
I'm gonna put a picture up while you're talking.
Thank you, baby. And so last week, me and Shy, we have been in research, deeply in research, and just decoding a lot of what we see is happening around us, and a lot of what we see is happening within our government, because there are conversations that are being had within our government, and that happens through television that we are not hearing. It's in your music and you're not hearing it, right? And so the lanternfly shows up at our house 8:44 last week. My wife goes outside, Akila, to do something, and she looks down and she says, there's a butterfly outside. And so we myself and my wife, we understand insect totems and the messages, and whenever we get things that we deem as signs or symbols, we go and we look it up immediately. And so I go outside and I go to look down, and I see it, and it was very colorful. But my first thought was that that's not a butterfly. And so I take pictures and video of it, and then I go away, we go about our day, and then sometime either later that day or the following day, I go to research, what it was and to look it up, and it was a lanternfly. Right. And so I say, this is the thing that's been around Philadelphia, but I never paid too much attention to it because I haven't seen it anywhere. And so the lanternfly, I go to research it, and this video pops up of this young lady from 2018, and she's speaking about the spiritual symbolism of the lanternfly. And it floored me because the conversation that she was having in 2018 is the exact same things that Shy and myself have been saying on our lives consistently. Get your affairs in order. And
Look,
what's very
see it,
interesting,
record it.
exactly. And what's interesting is that, hold that picture there. If you guys look at it for a second, you can see the 4 stages of the lanternfly. You see 4, there's that number 4 again, right? What is the significance of the 4? Well, where else do we find 4? Well, if we look in the Bible and we look in Revelations, there's a clear distinction of 4 horsemen. Oh, Spirit, I see you. Because
come on, baby.
As I'm looking at it, Sha, remember the picture that you sent me? And it was a combination of a Shara, the star goddess, was showing it with the picture with Michael Jackson. And she was describing how it's in our face, and the communication and the symbols and the messaging are in our face, and we can't see it. So when we say that we are in the times of revelation, we are in the times of revelation, and it's playing out before us, right? That's why I keep feeling the need to say to y'all that if a man have an ear, let him hear what Spirit is saying to the churches. And the churches were not the physical church houses. The church houses were the bodies. It was the vessel. It was you. It was time. It was going to be when the activation came, this ascension, this rapture that we think that we were waiting for, and that we've been taught to wait for, and this Jesus Christ figure that will show up, which is really that pineal gland that will come awakened. Okay, when we're talking about these things and we're breaking down the Bible, we have to get out of the religious way of looking at it, and we have to start breaking down the coding that's in it. What is it saying, right? And in this message, if you look at this picture very clearly, you see all the same 4 colors that we saw in the lanternfly, right? The same 4 stages. What are those stages in the Bible of the 4 horsemen? We had the black horse, the white horse, the red horse, and the pale horse. And you see all the same 4 colors that we saw in the lanternfly, right? The same 4 stages. What are those stages in the Bible of the 4 horsemen? We had the black horse, the white horse, the red horse, and the pale horse. And what was very interesting is that the lanternfly goes through 4 stages.
I'm gonna go back.
It starts off as white, then it shifts to red, then to black, and then the last color is pale. That's the last color that it shifts to. And so when the lanternfly showed up at our door, it was dead, which I thought was very interesting. And so when I went to research and began to break down the message and the symbolism of the lanternfly, here's what I discovered. Okay. Authorities consider the lanternfly a pest. So it's a pest. We look at a lot of insects as being pests. And so when we look at the etymology of pest, it breaks down to plague, pestilence, epidemic disease, deadly contagious disease, a curse, destructive. Then bane, which I didn't know what bane meant, and so I needed to go and research it. And when I looked up the etymology of bane, it was killer, slayer, murderer, worker of death, the devil, that which causes, guys, this is pest. This is just the etymology of the word pest. That which causes death and destruction, that which causes ruin or woe. Okay, we're talking about the lanternfly. I need y'all to walk with us here, okay? Get out of your mind. Get out of what it is that you think you know. And let's really begin to break down the symbolism and how you break down the symbolism when Spirit is communicating with you the same way that Spirit is communicating with us. The difference is that we are going after and researching that which is being given to us, right? And in everything that we've researched, we see the parallel playouts happening within our government.
Yes. They playing out like a fiddle.
Music industry, with being, if you're in the acting industry, it's everywhere. These are the 4 stages, right? And so why are the lanternflies so deadly? Well, they go to the trees and they're mainly attracted to landscapes. So like to large landscapes or crops, large crops, right? They devastate. They eat. I don't think y'all understand.
I don't think they hear us.
Wherever they touch, they're going to devastate and bring devastation. You heard the word deadly, contagious, pestilence, a curse. This is a spiritual. We are no longer operating in the mundane of things. We are now we've always been in the spiritual. But we have entered into another level of operating and understanding the things of spirit, because it's going to help you get to safety when this thing hits full.
Maya,
so what does the lanternfly do? The lanternfly goes to the trees or to wherever they are, and they pierce the bark of the tree to suck out the sap of the tree and leaving the tree exposed. So now that the tree is exposed, it's oozing its own sap that the lanternfly left behind. And the sap that the lanternfly left behind is now going to attract parasitic insects. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? They're going to attract parasitic insects that is going to cause decay to the tree, or to whatever it is that the lanternfly is attracted to, is going to decimate it.
Including crops.
Okay? So when we look at the etymology of sap, what does sap mean? Dig a trench towards the enemy's position. Dig a trench towards the enemy's position. What is America's greatest position and greatest asset? The land. Being able to farm, being able to grow, being able to take away from farmers. If it wasn't for the farmers, America wouldn't eat. Period. They would suffer. You wouldn't have food in your grocery stores. You wouldn't have meat on your tables. You wouldn't have vegetables. You wouldn't have fruit. It is the farmers that keep America alive. Period. So if the crops go, what do you think go next? So if the lanternfly has shown up in America, coming from, as they say, somewhere in China or somewhere over there, if it's shown up here in the Americas, and the etymology of set is to build, to dig a trench. So we're not even building, we're digging. That means that we're going into the surface of a thing. That means that we're hitting the root of a thing. That sounds like nature is getting to the root of the problem.
Nature is telling y'all what fucking time it is.
They're telling us what time it is, right? So let's go, because set gets deep. As I continue to study the word set, set comes up in 3 different languages, translating into the same word, spade, right? Which is the symbol that you find on your playing cards, is a spade. One of the most notable attributes to the spade is death and transformation. Okay? And the word set translates in 3 different languages: Spanish, Italian, and Latin. I even hear the Trinity. I heard Spirit say Trinity and Trinity.
Trinity.
3 different languages. They all translate into spade, which translates into death and transformation. Set means to weaken or to destroy insidiously. It means it's built on the notion of draining the vital set. What do we hear Trump say all the time? I'm draining the swamp. I'm draining the swamp. And here we see an insect that has shown up to say, I'm draining the vital set. Spirit said, look up the etymology of vital.
Come on, vital.
Ooh, this is deep.
This is deep.
I am draining the vital set. If we know nothing about this realm, we understand that manifesting 855 is one of the main things that we see happening. Manifestation is a form of alchemy, is it not? Correct me if I'm wrong.
You're not wrong.
Okay, it's alchemy, right? So the etymology of vital, of or manifesting life, of or belonging to life. Did y'all hear what I said?
Repeat that.
One of the etymology of set, one of the definitions of set is draining the vital sap. America's greatest, their sap, their milk and honey has been the land. Project off of the land, going and conquering lands that don't belong. This has been their sap. This has been their milk and honey. It hasn't been milk and honey for the rest of us. Before America has been milk and honey. And there's been a lot of people and places that's connected to America that have benefited from this sap, from this glorious sap. And here the lanternfly has come to say, we are draining the vital sap. And the etymology of vital is manifesting life. We are draining the possibility of manifesting life into this beast. Life into what is collapsing, is falling.
Your free will is being drained.
Lantern is light, it's lamp, it's lantern, it's torch, it's showing you the way. The lantern is trying to come to tell you, look at what's in front of you. Warning always came before destruction. And so to me, we said 4 years ago that when it was time for us to move, there 9 people are in the room, 9, completion.
Ashe.
We said years ago that the necessity to tap in was going to be very important, because spirit was going to be able to communicate with us to tell us where to go and what direction to go, who to connect to, how much to let go in order for you to get there, right? How to move, how to think, what to grab, how to prepare, right? Because we're in the spirit.
Yes.
Jesus is not telling you what's happening. Listen to what I'm saying. Your preachers are not telling you what's happening. Your politicians are double speaking and they're talking over you. And spirit is sending creatures. They are sending messages to let us know what time it is. The lanternfly translates very simple. Destruction. The lanternfly showed up 2 days. The first day, it was dead. The second day it showed up, it was alive. The resurrection has begun.
Facts.
The rapture of this thing has begun. And it ain't no other way to say it. It ain't no other way to get on here and to say prepare. It ain't no other way to get on here and to say, y'all got to get your affairs in order. Y'all got to understand what's happening. Get the bag and chase the bag all you want to, but have your affairs in order. Understand what time it is and what time is not. And that's all I got to say.